for being here in America?
Just for the way he probably been treating her ever since they've been married.
Okay. So at what point should someone start to speak out? Being single and the marriage, you're single and you're married.
Soon as you feel it, because at the end of the day, that is your life. That is your time. You have to look at it. You only have one life to live. You only have one life to live. And if you spend it being miserable, then who are you going to blame? Nobody but yourself.
So once you get into marriage, you see a sign of these, then you just have to start speaking up.
And if they don't take heed to what you're speaking on, then you have to take the proper actions to, you know what I'm saying, that best fits you. If you're not feeling love, why would you stay somewhere?
So do you think that all those emotional pains and whatever that both of you can still make it back and stay together?
Yeah, but most people don't think they're doing nothing wrong. If you sit down and ask them and talk about it, they don't think they're doing nothing wrong. They don't really, honestly, if you ask a person and you tell a person how you really treating them and how it's making them feel and everything, they'll look at you crazy because they don't think they're doing nothing wrong. They're going to start saying how good you got it. You know, they're going to turn it around and say, oh, you got it good. Why do you feel this way? You got it good. You know how people get. They will turn it around. They will make you feel like you got it so good. Why are you complaining?
So what will you, okay, I'm listening.
A lot of women just want to be heard. And the way most men make them feel in a marriage is like, you know, they make you feel like you're useless and stuff. Even all the way down to, you know, them being around other women, being around their own spouse that they've been around for years. They'll make somebody else feel comfortable, smiling and grinning, the politeness with them and everything. But then when it comes to this woman that's been with you for years, all you got is a cold shoulder. All most men got is a cold shoulder. But you got politeness and smiles and grinning and you just show everybody love. But when it comes to that person that you with, and some of these men, these women built them up.
But are you not thinking it this way? Because if they both love each other before that marriage, I don't think there will be a cold shoulder at the middle of the whole thing.
Yeah, it will.
Because I believe that sometimes women do first. Because sometimes you find out that since I was growing up, on my days of this, you found out that you are in love with a lady. You've done everything with this person, trying to show love, trying to do everything to this person. But this person is not loving you back. This person will go and be loving somebody that don't love them. Then at the end of the whole thing, why won't you feel, because you are forcing somebody to love you, you are forcing somebody to live with you.
How are you forcing somebody in your marriage?
You force the person to the extent that this person don't have any other choice than to, okay, let me compensate this person and marry her. Some people do marriage by compensation. They believe I'm compensating this person by marrying this person. So I believe that these are because somebody will just come and say, are you okay? I understand what you
have to be polite. Like, you can't be polite and genuine to everybody and then not be that way with your spouse. People are going to pick up. And then another big thing with relationships, marriages, you have to treat people the way you want to be treated. You can't treat somebody bad and expect them to treat you good. You have to treat people the way you want to be treated. And in a lot of relationships, like I said, when it comes to the man don't feel like that the woman should be treated the way that he should be treated. Like, for real, you don't. You find a lot of them feel like that they should be treated better because they are the man. They're the head of the household. You're supposed to submit. You're supposed to honor me. You're supposed to do this, but they don't do any of that. They don't do any of that. They don't take you in consideration for anything. So when you talk about feeling single in a marriage, those are the big topics right there.
But I'm
feeling unseen.
Okay, feeling single in this marriage, because I want our audience to understand. can you still be feeling single in this in marriage while this man is providing everything for you? Maybe he provides cash, provide everything, all what he's supposed to do for her lady. But on the other part, he's not doing it. Do you think
that's the thing about it? That's the reason why a lot of women really want to start making their own money, because of that. What you just said, a man providing you money, giving you money. And that's what most men do in relationship. Oh, if I pay the bills, I give you all this, I give you all this. But then you still ignore me every time you come in the house. You still don't treat me the way I treat you, even though you giving money. That's why most women will be like, I would rather go make my own money. Then maybe you'll treat me equally, because now I'm contributing to the household. So now we're at equal standards, because that's what relationships come into, 50-50. If a woman is doing just as much as the man do, like you said, if he's providing, giving you everything like this, if the woman is doing the same, then shouldn't y'all both be submissive to each other? Shouldn't y'all both be following, each other path? It just shouldn't be the woman following your path. Because if you look at a lot of people's lives, they're not good leaders.
So do you believe that marriage is supposed to be 50-50?
I believe it should be 50-50 when you feel like that your financial, you're the provider and you can do what you want to do. Because that's what it comes down to. If you ever a woman sitting at home in a marriage and you don't have to pay for anything, that's the first thing a man bring up, is what he provides.
Yeah, is what he provides. But do you still believe that 50-50, being in marriage and it's 50-50, do you think that is the right thing to do in marriage? Because
I feel like it's up to those two individuals. Because if it's 50-50, then it shouldn't be nobody should be no better than nobody. You should have to listen just like she has to listen. Because if I'm paying half of everything and you're paying half of everything, but then I still have to be the one come home, cook, cleaning, and taking care of the kids, that's not 50-50.
It's not 50-50.
Hell no, because when you say 50-50, that means you need to go pick up the kids sometime. You need to make dinner.
But that is how America runs. That is how America runs. If you are talking about 50-50, because most American marriage is all about 50-50. That is the reason why you said if Nigerian ladies come to America, they did what? Or African ladies, once they come, those culture you believe that is holding them or whatever, they will just break loose of those cultures. You know why?
Right or wrong, most of the women that come over here, whether it's African, Nigerians, or whatever, if you look at it and you was to tell the honest to God truth, the ladies supersede the men when it comes to working and making money. Yeah, they supersede the men.
They supersede the men by how? How? Because the man working, but do you know how that superstition comes in? Okay, let me tell you something. Men, once they bring their wife here, what they do is to do what? First of all, set up their wife. Why do you need a miniature? Because it's the love of their life. It's who they trust. So those men will be, maybe they are doing Ubers, maybe they are working in a warehouse. They don't want, because of what they are saying in the warehouse, they don't want their wife to work in those kind of places. Because it's precious in their eyes, no matter how they treat them at home or whatever. Then what do? All the little money they are making, working in the warehouse, working in this place, doing 4 jobs, doing 5 jobs, they will send their wife to a greater something. Maybe they send them to become a nurse, they send them to become a doctor, they send their wives to school while they are there hustling.
But that's
I'm telling you about here.
Okay, well,
I'm telling you here.
Listen.
So once that lady begins to make that money, she will now find out, oh, what is she providing? What is this man providing? After all, I'm making $75 an hour. He's making $20. He's making $5. What is it? So this is what brings that division. This is what brings that a lady later telling you that she's single in marriage.
No, because at the end of the day, when you come to America, see, getting a nursing certificate in America is different from getting a nursing certificate over in.
We are talking about here, right?
Okay, but here you might have to pay that loan back. But how many people, be honest, come over here and pay for their schooling out of pocket? It's rare. They're getting loans.
No. Even if they are getting loans, let me tell you something. Even if they are getting loans, who is getting that loan? Who is getting that loan?
It has to be the person that's getting the degree.
Maybe the guy getting loan from somewhere too. Because I've known a lot. I've known a lot of Nigerian people. I've known a lot of African people that they got loan by themselves.
But when you go to, because majority of, I don't care what, that's the number one field that the ladies come and go in, the men too, when they get here, is nursing, because they know that's the number one thing that's going to bring them money.
That's going to bring them money.
But the thing about it is, like I said, how many of these people are actually paying for their whole schooling out of pocket? They're not. They're getting loans. But you got to look at how the relationship was before they got here. See, that speaks a lot too.
It speaks a lot. You
got to look at how a person, whether it's overseas or in America, you got to look at how a person was treating you before you got where you are. Because let me tell you, that's one thing that I know for a fact. I've never seen a woman you rarely see a woman leave a good man. And you rarely see a woman leave a man over one mistake. You rarely see that. So if a woman
you rarely see a woman do what?
You rarely see a woman leave a good man.
Leave a good man.
Yeah. And you rarely.
Why? How?
Let me tell you why.
Why? So all the men that ladies are leaving are all bad people.
We're not saying that they're not all bad people, but you have to go off of the person that's in the relationship, how she's feeling, and you have to go off the reason she's leaving. And you do. Just like with anybody relationship, you have to go off of why she's leaving. Because like I said, I've never seen a woman leave a man for one mistake. Now, I've seen a woman leave a man that continuously keep doing bullshit. I've seen that. Just like I've seen a woman leave a man after she get on her feet because of the way he treated her when she didn't have nothing.
She never loved the man. If you listen to me.
If you have to, I'm gonna let you speak in a minute. If you, when I don't have nothing, if you have to treat me at my lowest when I don't have nothing, how do you expect me to treat you when I do get something and you don't got nothing? Don't you expect for me to treat you the way you treated me?
Yeah, it depends on the treatment we are talking about here. It depends on the treatment. I understand what you're saying. But if you look at it, it depends on the treatment. Some people take caution. You caution somebody. Don't do this, don't do that.
And they still gonna do it.
And they believe that you are treating them bad.
And they still gonna do it.
You understand? So let me tell you something. You caution somebody. Don't do this, don't do that. And that person is still doing the same thing. You ask, please, can you stop doing this? Then what are you talking?
But this is the thing. If you are doing this, is the thing. How can one adult tell another adult, caution them about things that they're doing when they're doing things?
That is the law. That is what nature says. That is what nature puts in place.
That's why
I'm telling you the truth. Just be real. Let's be
we being real.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, like I said, that's the reason why most women, when they do come here and get on their feet, they go fume because of the way that man treated her when she didn't have nothing, but to solely depend on him. But that's why I say it all comes down to, I have never seen a woman leave a man for one mistake. When you see women leave a man and he's especially a provider, That's how you know he a motherfucker. You better leave him alone. You better just get your money from it and go on about your business. Because women don't leave providers. But women's leave fucked up providers, though. Women don't leave providers. I'm telling you what God, hell no, they don't leave no provider. A man that provides.
The women don't leave providers.
They don't leave providers.